Hello, fellow Wastelanders. It's 3Dog, and I'm here. Dude, shut up. You don't sound anything like Eric Nellums. A, B, this isn't Fallout 3, and C, you don't sound anything like 3Dog. Just shut up, man. Alright. Anyway, now that I'm done arguing with myself, hey, I thought I would share my new capture card footage here and go back and revisit a game that I was doing before with slightly worse video, to say the least. But yeah, I thought I'd come back to New Vegas and kind of share this with you guys and throw this out there as kind of a teaser, testing the water, to see if you guys want me to get started on a Let's Play. You know, a series on New Vegas, again, now with new improved graphics, yeah. And if you're interested in that, leave a comment in the section below, and I will get on that, and we will go ahead and play through this. But until then, I've got my hook in the water, fishing for a few other games to maybe start on. Dark Souls 1 came to mind, and I am going to play that a little bit, get into that. But if I see that you guys are interested in this, then I would be more than happy to get back to this and play through some of this also. Especially now that I've got the graphics to where, I don't know, in my opinion, this looks pretty sweet, guys. It looks like what's coming off my game. But let me shut up, and we'll catch this intro real quick.
War. War never changes. When atomic fire consumed the Earth, those who survived did so in great underground vaults. When they opened, their inhabitants set out across the ruins of the old world to build new societies, establishing villages, forming tribes. As decades passed, what had been the American Southwest united beneath the flag of the new California Republic, dedicated to old world values of democracy and the rule of law. As the Republic grew, so did its needs. Scouts spread east, seeking territory and wealth in the dry and merciless expanse of the Mojave Desert. They returned with tales of a city untouched by the warheads that had scorched the rest of the world, and a great wall spanning the Colorado River. The NCR mobilized its army and sent it east to occupy Hoover Dam and restore it to working condition. But across the Colorado, another society had arisen under a different flag. A vast army of slaves forged from the conquest of 86 tribes, Caesar's Legion. 4 years have passed since the Republic held the dam, just barely, against the Legion's onslaught. The Legion did not retreat. Across the river, it gathers strength. Campfires burn, training drums beat. Through it all, the New Vegas Strip has stayed open for business, under the control of its mysterious overseer, Mr. House, and his army of rehabilitated tribals and police robots. You are a courier, hired by the Mojave Express to deliver a package to the New Vegas Strip. What seemed like a simple delivery job has taken a turn for the worse.
You got what you were after, so pay up.
You're crying in the rain, Pally.
Guess who's waking up over here?
Time to cash out.
Will you get it over with?
Maybe cons kill people without looking them in the face. But I ain't a fink. Dig? You've made your last delivery, kid. Sorry you got twisted up in this scene. From where you're kneeling must seem like an 18-carat run of bad luck. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
You're awake. How about that? Whoa, easy there, easy. You've been out cold a couple of days now. Why don't you just relax a second? Get your bearings. Let's see what the damage is. How about your name? Can you tell me your name?
All right, I'd like to point out something real quick that I noticed in that intro there. is when they were speculating on Fallout 4 when it was really, really hyped before, E3 2014, this last one. One of the speculations was, well, which countries really were involved? I mean, we know about the Chinese and Americans, but, what about everyone else? Australia and, the other countries and stuff, Russia and so on and so forth. And note it did mention the whole world was touched by the bombs.
That's your name. I'm Doc Mitchell. Welcome to Goodsprings. Now, I hope you don't mind, but I had to go rooting around there in your noggin to pull all the bits of lead out. I take pride in my needlework, but you'd better tell me if I left anything out of place. How'd I do?
So we can assume with the rampant supply of Mentats and vodka available to everybody that the world leaders, when they went to mashing on buttons, they pressed every button there was and sent the bombs everywhere, apparently. So the whole world, yes, it was affected. And that was interesting because that was a question that I couldn't knowledgeably answer because I didn't know. I could assume that if there was a nuclear war, atomic fire, blah, 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 that it would be the world, but that kind of confirmed it there. And apparently Vegas was left as one last oasis. All right, now I'm going to carry you guys through my entire character creation here, all the way through leveling. I do have an extensive video on leveling and my logic and theory and my build. It's designed for very hard / hardcore difficulty. Hardcore really isn't a difficulty setting. It just adds new elements to the game. Survival elements where you need to actually, eat and drink and sleep and stuff like that. It makes it very cool. I know me personally, once I started playing on that, I can't play any other way now. Kind of wish they had that along with the aim down the sights for Fallout 3, which imagine what that would do for that game. But anyway, that's a whole other issue. But with this, I will go through here, and like I said, I've got a long video on leveling, but here I will stay true to my build that I have found through all my play hours invested in Fallout games. New Vegas being very much like Fallout 3 as far as the leveling goes. This is the build that I've found to work best for just any playstyle, honestly. Absolutely any playstyle, whether you're going to go melee, big guns, energy weapons, small guns, whatever, doesn't matter. All right, and anyway, this is just my slider technique. My characters usually look pretty much the same. I'm like this in Skyrim also, and other games, even Dark Souls and stuff like that, is once I find something that I pretty much like, I remember more or less where I'm going to put the sliders, and so it's a little easier to go back and duplicate that character's looks, more or less. I might tweak something here and there. But mostly I'll find a facial structure and a hairstyle that I like, and I'll say, yeah, I'm going to stick with that. And sometimes it takes a little more work than others, but it's worth it to me. I think the looks are as much as important as the gameplay in RPGs, with me anyway. I like looks and customization and character creation and all that other stuff, as opposed to, just the combat and the rest of the gameplay involved. So that's just me. Okay, now, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and just put this out there, and if anyone's interested in a Let's Play through New Vegas, or if you have something in particular in mind, I mean, that's what I would really love, because I feel I have some knowledge about this game. I don't claim to know everything about anything, but I do know something about a few things, and so this is one game that I'm pretty familiar with. I know a lot of the ins and the outs. Maybe I'm not the biggest lore aficionado. I can't sit here and cite historical dates and so on and so forth like some guys, and I really respect that. People who are so passionate about the game that they've looked into this stuff and have probably memorized Fallout history better than some of their own world history, and I mean, that's really cool. But with me, when it comes to combat mechanics and, pros and cons to different things in the game, like such as, builds as they pertain to certain weapons and certain play styles and so on and so forth, what you can and can't get away with when it comes to, questing and just whatever. I have some knowledge about those things, and I really, really like to share those things. I'm passionate about it, and I'm passionate about people who are also passionate about it. So if you have any particular thing that you want to share or ask about, or, I mean, it's not all, I think I can give you guys stuff. I'm sure there's more knowledgeable people out there than me, and you guys can also share. So that's what the comment section below is for, and utilize it. Hey, it's free, Go ahead and vent it, man. Put it down on paper, so to speak. All right, so if you got anything you'd like to see, Or if you just like to just see Let's Play, period. If you like to just sit and hang out and play the game and see the sights and watch the game through my eyes. That's why I watch other people play, because I watch the game through their eyes and see the decisions they make and how they do stuff, and I learn things. Or I say, wow, you know, that's something I don't have to go build a whole nother character to do, because I saw this guy do it, and I think that's really cool. That type of stuff. So, anyway, if you'd like to see that, let me know. I will carry on with this. If nothing else, there will at least be just this video. And I seriously get to show off this new graphics card. I mean, how does that look, guys? Maybe it'll, I don't know if it'll change any once I finally get it uploaded to YouTube here, but sitting here looking on the editor, it's pretty. It's pretty. I really like it. It's nice and fine, nice color balance. Man, a lot of clarity. Yeah, it's sweet. Coming straight off the PS3 too. I mean, straight from the PS3 to the computer. All right. So we get in here, set my hair color, give it just a little bit of a purple tint. I believe red and blue makes purple. Unless that's changed since while I was sleeping. All right, and that'll be my little pigtailed character that I've had since Fallout 3, honestly.
Okay.
And for you guys who were Fallout 1 and 2 and have been with it since the very, very beginning, way back in the pre-Obsidian days, whatever they were called before that, I forget. But for those of you guys, man, kudos to you guys. Respect to you guys.
Take it slow now. It ain't a race.
Okay, now, I know I don't have these stats for it, so I can't fix this 9mm over here, or this mess with this chemistry set just yet. But while I'm around here, I might as well steal absolutely everything, because nothing in this house is stealing, and you can sell it all back to Dr. Mitchell on your way out the door. A lot of people know this. Well, I definitely utilize this. If he wants to let me have it, I'll sure take it. All right, like I said, I can't mess with either of those right now, but I know they're there. And when I get my stats up, I can always come back. I'll make several trips to Doc Mitchell through the course of my playthrough. There'll be times where I need to get my radiation fixed because I don't have any Radaway yet. Or I'm just crippled from head to toe and I have no Hydra or doctor's bags, because I pretty much use those as quick as I get them.
Looking good so far.
So I will
Go ahead and give the vigor test.
loot all these freebies. I mean, I'm sure this.
Right quick if you get back all your faculties.
I'm sure all this is here for a reason. All right, so let's get in here. I'll do the quick version. And I'll try to give a brief explanation, but I would refer you, and I can even leave a little notation here, a link where you can go over there if you're interested in character build in depth as to all the reasons why I pick what I pick. But I know this to be an effective one. And for those of you who are used to the 10 intelligence build, you're going to think I'm crazy at first. This is absolutely a dominant build like this. And like I say, for all the reasonings, you're more than encouraged to go check out the much longer character build video. But the baseline of this is your agility and your perception has to do with your gunplay. Okay, your endurance is your survivability.
I guess that explains how you're still alive.
In any kind of equipment.
Built solid as an oak.
All right, and
well, we know your vitals are good.
That's enough luck to gamble with.
Didn't leave you nuttered in a bighorn.
Once I reach.
What do you say you take a seat in my couch and we go through a couple?
What do you say you shut up, Doc Mitchell? I'm talking. Okay, but that is more than enough luck to gamble with. All right, it says 6 now. It will be 7 when I go to Usanagi. All those, of course, will be raised by 1. Having a 9 endurance is great because you can buy every single one of her upgrades, one of which I feel is completely useless, but you can buy them all if you have the caps for them. And so the 9 endurance being for survivability, the strength, I could honestly even take a point or 2 out of strength and still be functional. What I like is to equip just the regular sniper rifle, all right, which only requires 6 strength, and I will have that with Dr. Usanagi also, so it's not just waving all over the map while I'm trying to aim down the sights. And with that, I'm good. If I need an extra boost, should I decide to play melee for a while or something like that, then I can just eat some, I don't know, bighorn steak, or swallow a buff out, or drink some whiskey, or one of the other 50 billion items that they have in New Vegas that all raise your strength. So that's not an issue. So if you need a temporary strength buff, then those things are just all over the place for you. And for the most part, melee is so overpowered that even with a mediocre strength, if you were going melee and you have some of the perks picked for melee, you will be one and two shotting things even on very hard with just a 5 strength. So I've never, I don't know, strength is almost as useless as charisma in this game. Or intelligence. You say, well, what about skill points? The level cap is 50. By the time you get 50, if you can't have all the skills you're using basically maxed out by the time you're in your mid to late 20s, then there's a problem, even with an intelligence of 3. Having intelligence of 10 is, I want more skill points now. Okay, so when you get to level 30 and everything's already almost at 100, and you got 20 more levels to go, you're doing what with your points? Dumping them into trash stats? That's, you know, me personally, I'll take those points and put them into other stuff that I'm actually going to use.
All right. I'm going to say a word. I want you to say the first thing that comes to mind. Dog. House. Night. Bandit. Light. Mother. Okay, now I got a few statements. I want you to tell me how much they sound like something you'd say. First one, conflict just ain't in my nature. I ain't given to relying on others for support. I'm always fixin' to be the center of attention. I'm slow to embrace new ideas. I charge in to deal with my problems head on. Almost done here. What do you say you have a look at this? Tell me what you see.
What do they call this, the Rorschach test?
Okay. How about this one? Last one. Well, that's all she wrote. I don't have nothing to compare it to, so maybe you'd better just have a look at the results. See if it all seems right to you.
All right. Now, that was basically like the GOAT test. It doesn't really matter what you pick. I mean, I just did it for giggles because this is the, you know, the beginning of the game type thing. But you can re-put them just wherever you want. You can put them in a new slot. All right, so this is a little random. Sometimes I go medicine. I'll try to pick either science or lockpick. Usually science. All right, and you know, my perception's already up for lockpick, so that's not a problem. But I don't really worry much about barter, but speech, mainly friendly skills here. I'm not too much worried about my weapons skills as far as that goes, but I want stuff that involves my role play.
Before I turn you loose,
early.
I need one more thing from you. I got a form for you to fill out so I can get a sense of your medical history. Just a formality. Ain't like I expect to find you got a family history of getting shot in the head.
Now this is something new. Okay, now the 1 4 eyes is actually glitched. It's nothing but penalty for you. It's all downside. The combat-related ones have more downside than upside, like 20% faster but 20% more likely to miss. Well, if you're going with rapid-fire weapons, your spread's going to be all over the place. Doing 20% less damage so you can fire 20% faster, that doesn't make sense, all right? So I go for friendly or roleplay traits here also. Now, the small frame is to get my agility to 9. And plus, my limbs will take more damage.
All right, I guess that about does it. Come with me, I'll see you.
And like I say in my other leveling video, taking more damage to your limbs is actually a good thing. That sounds insane, but it's actually true. There's not only a free perk available to you after you've damaged your limbs or crippled your limbs so many times, all right? But on top of that, you get XP. There's challenges for essentially crippling your limbs so many times, and then there's challenges for healing those limbs with, like, doctor's bags. There's challenges for taking meds, right? So if you're using Hydra all the time and things like that, all right, until eventually your limbs aren't crippled so easily anymore, so you get a free adamantium skeleton perk, basically, right? And on top of that, a bunch of XP and some challenges finished.
Here, these are yours. Was all you had on you when you was brought in. I hope you don't mind, but I gave the note a look. I thought it might help me find a next of kin. But it was just something about a platinum chip. Well, if you're heading back out there, you ought to have this. They call it a Pip-Boy. I grew up in one of them vaults they made before the war. We all got one. Ain't much use to me now, but you might want such a thing after what you've been through. I know what it's like having something taken from you. And put this on too, so the locals don't pick on you for lacking modesty. It was my wife's. I think she was about your size, and she hardly wore it after we left the vault. Felt it was too brazen. Don't mention it. It's what I'm here for. You should talk to Sunny Smiles before you leave town. She can help you learn to fend for yourself in the desert. She'll likely be at the saloon. I reckon some of the other folks at the saloon might be able to help you out too. And the metal fella, Victor, who pulled you out of your grave. Anyway, you ever get hurt out there, you come right back. I'll fix you up. But try not to get killed anymore.
Alright. Allows you to play in a new hardcore mode. You may turn hardcore mode on or off at any time, but if you leave it on, you get a reward at the end of the game. Mainly a nice big fat trophy or achievement. Alright, now let me go ahead and sell him all of his own stuff. So I believe there's even some XP I can grab while I'm right here. I'm gonna have to find it.
Well, I already told you I came from a vault. After that, I was a traveling doctor for a spell. It seemed like a good idea at the time. Most folks out here ain't educated, so people with medical know-how are hard to come by. I found that I could help a lot of people with what I knew, and that was all right with me. Eventually, I went back and married my childhood sweetheart, and that was the end of my traveling days. Didn't miss it none then. Still don't. Well, ain't we all, right? That was a long time ago. I don't pay it much mind anymore.
There it is.
Of course. You've been through a lot. Ain't much, but these'll do you right if the pain flares up. This here's Goodsprings, named after the water we got here, just down the road to the southeast. Goodsprings Source, they call it. It's a quiet town, and that's how we like it. We don't go looking for trouble, though occasionally it sees fit to come looking for us. Well, there's a general store just up the road, run by a fella named Chet. He don't got nothing fancy, but he's got your basics covered. If you're looking to wet your whistle, just past Chet's is the Prospector Saloon. The bartender there, Trudy, knows everyone in town. Other than that, there's not much to see. Just people trying to scratch out a living.
He doesn't say anything new.
That'd be Victor. Curious fella. He's sort of odd, and I don't just mean 'cause he's a robot. I couldn't tell you much about him. He's real friendly, don't get me wrong. You just get the sense that that ain't the whole picture. Just a feeling. He keeps to himself, mostly. You want to know more about him, you'll have to ask him yourself. He has a shack on the southern edge of town. I didn't see him or the men with him. You might ask around town, though. Could be someone saw which way they was headed. Your best bet would probably be Trudy, the bartender at the saloon up the road. If anyone saw anything, she'd know about it.
Alright.
Sure.
Let me go ahead and sell him his stuff. I'd like to make a really, really quick point about the beginning of this game, where they basically, in a long, cutscene type movie deal, give you the whole background of, what's going on in the game and so on and so forth. And now this may just be personal preference, but I thought one of the amazing things about Fallout 3 was you discovered the backstory, the story you were in the future, through playing the game and talking to people and uncovering stuff and reading about things. And sometimes the environment itself, by the way it was set up, would tell you a story in and of itself about what had happened there and what was going on. Okay, in this, they kind of lay it out to you and kind of bring you up to date type deal, and it's different. It leaves nothing to discover as you first start. Like, I would rather have found out what I was doing in that house through talking to Victor and exploring the graveyard and having some things laid out that told me, you know, in exploring as opposed to just having it all given to me on a silver platter type thing. I think that took something away from the game, and it's not really a complaint. It's just an observation, personal preference. I'm a bigger fan of Fallout 3. I can honestly say that. And that is one of the big reasons. I think a lot of what Fallout 3, the magic that was going for it, they left out of this one and chose to cover it up with a fancy plastic wrapper, leaving the good stuff out of the middle. But my opinion, this is still a great game. Amazing game, and obviously very popular. People are still playing it today, including me. So, yeah, no knock on the game. Just something, from what they added, that's something I wish they wouldn't have taken out. How's that? Is that fair? All right, look at all that stuff I sold him. Let me go ahead and grab a few nicks and knacks that I can from him that I know I'm going to be using, that I can afford with no actual loss of money to myself. Sell him his own stuff. And we'll holler at you, Doc. Appreciate it, man. All right, walk out of here with this fancy scar on my head, and we'll get to it. All right, and that should be it. All right, leave something in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe if you like this. If nothing else, man, let me know. Do you want to see more of this? And we will definitely get into it and do a let's play along, have some fun with Fallout New Vegas. Maybe even get back in Fallout 3 if you guys want. Man, let me know, you know. I really could use some feedback. And you guys are amazing. You stuck with this channel from the beginning. You know, you've been here all this time. And if there's something you'd like to see, that's what it's all about. So please let me know. This is a two-way street here, that comment section down below. Utilize it. I'm going to set up how I know I'm going to get started. I'm going to stick with small guns, light or no armor, on very hardcore, and that's how we are going to play. So if I can do it, then you guys who are actually using decent equipment, then you can certainly do it. Now, player view tends to freeze and lag a lot less. That is, if you're going to have kill cam active, then that would be the one. And it gives you some really cool slow-mo effects. Anyway, looks really cool. Make sure my buttons are right. I like how you can switch these around. Okay, I like the Xbox configuration with the bottom triggers for block, aim, and fire. That's how I prefer it. All right, and notice I had all my autosaves off except for the one on fast travel. So I won't lose all my progress, but keep the frame rate and the lag issues down and freezing rate down. All right. So we'll get out of here and we'll go explore Goodsprings on the next one. And that's really up to you guys, man. Somebody let me know. And we will get to it. All right, y'all take care, and I will catch you guys later, and have a good one. Bye-bye. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. To watch some more smackdown of our enemies, click on the top box. Go to my channel playlist and browse other game vids. Click on the bottom one. And if you like my videos, mash on the subscribe button up top and leave a comment. All right, thanks again. I'll catch you on the next one.